Welcome everybody, my name is TobeyD and this is my Rek'Sai jungle guide for low elo. So Rek'Sai is a bruiser or fighter who really works more like an assassin but builds bruiserish items. She is not that popular, especially in low elo, but she's really strong and definitely worth picking up. So let's take a look at her abilities. Her passive grants Fury with every basic attack and ability, and once you burrow with your W, you use that Fury to regenerate a little bit of health. Her Q is pretty straightforward. Her next three basic abilities deal bonus damage and are AoE, which is really nice. Her Q is an auto attack cancel, so you should always auto and right away Q to really burst your enemy down. Her W is her burrow unburrow ability. So of course when you are unburrowed you will burrow and vice versa. And the interesting thing about this ability is first that while you are burrowed, your Q changes to a ranged ability that gives vision and is pretty nice to get a mark for your ultimate ability. And secondly, your burrow reduces your field of vision, but at the same time you'll get a sonar which shows you any kind of movement in a certain radius. So for example, you can spot out enemy champions and also enemy minion waves. Important to know is you will only see movement. So if there is a champion waiting for you in any kind of brush and not moving at all, you won't see him. And of course, when you unburrow underneath an enemy, you knock him up for a short period of time, but this knock up is so strong. So yeah, her E is when you're unburrowed, a bite that will do extra absolute damage whenever your Fury gauge is full. So that's really important to know. Only E when your Fury is full, which is indicated by the Fury meter being red instead of yellow. And while burrowed, you can make tunnels with your E, which is really nice. I don't know why these videos aren't loading right now, but hey, whatever. So yeah, you can build tunnels. It depends on your level how many you can build at the same time, but these are really nice to get around the map really fast. Also, while you're burrowed, you have increased movement speed, which is also pretty handy to move around the map. Then your R. So you can mark enemies with your basic attacks or abilities, and then you can cast your R on them, which works like followed. So Rek'Sai goes underground, and after a short delay she jumps out and attacks the enemy. The important thing is this is a execute ability, so it's better the less health the enemy has. And this amount gets bigger with every level, so on R level 1 you deal an extra 20% of the enemy champion's missing health, and on level 3 I think it's 30%, so pretty damn powerful to execute somebody. Alright, talking about Rek'Sai's runes. This is the setup I prefer on Rek'Sai. Hail of Blades, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, and Relentless Hunter. Hail of Blades synergizes really well with her Q, so you knock the enemy up, auto attack, and get your Q going. It's a huge amount of burst damage. Also, Cheap Shot synergizes obviously really well with your knock up as well. Eyeball Collection for some extra damage, and Relentless Hunter to move around the map even faster. Then you kind of always want to go for Nimbus Cloak and Water Walking to provide you with some extra speed and like the ability to escape or even engage better with your Smite or Flash. Also, your one-on-ones in the river will be way better with Water Walking, and also, of course, you get extra AD to burst down these neutral objectives. Then you always want to go for attack speed, adaptive force, and then mostly armor, or if the enemy team is really AP heavy, then you can go for the extra magic resist. But keep in mind that most jungle camps deal physical damage, so your clear will always be healthier taking armor, especially your first clear, of course. Some people go for absolute focus instead of water walking. I'm not a big fan of it, but it can definitely have its place to get even more powerful bursts on your ganks. But yeah, you can try it out, of course. Then the secondary rune page that is really good on Rek'Sai is Conqueror into Triumph, into Alacrity, or if the enemy team has a lot of CC, Tenacity, and then Coup de Grace, which synergizes really, really well with your ultimate. And yeah, then again, Nimbus Cloak, Water Walking, that stays the same. So usually I prefer Hail of Blades, but if you are in a matchup with a lot of tanky champions, or for example the enemy jungler is just a maybe a tank or maybe a Conqueror champion who has a lot of sustain, then Conqueror will be better since you want to prepare for longer team fights, longer one-on-ones, and if you're not really able to burst down a champion and basically one-shot him, you might want to think about using this setup instead of Hail of Blades. Next up, items. So you want to start with the machete on Rek'Sai, get your refillable potions, bring down your level 1 ward, and then reset for an Oracle Lance, which especially with the reduced vision of Rek'Sai while burrowed is really nice to have, and I would recommend this item for every jungler overall, instead of Lee Sin maybe. And yeah, control wards every now and then if you have some extra gold to spend. Then you want to go for blue smite usually. You can go for red smite if the matchup, for example, is a Master Yi or something like this. But usually blue smite is the way to go to slow the enemies down and do some extra burst. In terms of oh yeah, you first want to go for your warrior, which is the best jungle item for Rek'Sai. Then in terms of boots, there are a few options. So usually I tend to go either Mercury's or Ninja Tabis because they make you a lot more tankier, and especially the Mercury's with the extra tenacity is really, really good. But attack speed is also really good on Rek'Sai. So if you feel like you don't really need the extra resistances, you can really go for Berserkers to, yeah, really burst the enemy down. Then for your most essential items, usually your first item after your full jungle item will be Edge of Night. This item provides you with some lethality, extra health, attack damage, and grants you a really nice spell shield. This item is really, really good on Rek'Sai, and I almost every time build it right after my warriors. Like I go warrior into Edge of Night into tier 2 boots. Then, really good on Rek'Sai, Black Cleaver. You usually want to build Black Cleaver when you see that the enemies are building a lot of armor, which they probably will once they get wrecked by you in the first few levels of the game, and they usually see, oh my god, he has lethality as well, so let's build some armor against it. If you are against a enemy team comp with a lot of tanks and bruisers, you might wanna think about skipping Edge of Night and building Black Cleaver second item. You can still do Edge of Night third item then, or you adjust accordingly to the situation. Guardian Angel is really good on Rek'Sai, because yeah, if you are not really careful and do not know your limits, then you will die from time to time. So Guardian Angel is really good. If you are really fed, you can go for a Death Stance. And Sterix Gauge overall is also really good on Rek'Sai. In terms of situational items, if you really want to build more lethality, I would go for an Umbral Glaive to clear out wards more efficiently. Also, it provides cooldown reduction and is really cheap. So a really cost-efficient item right here. I can't stress it enough how important an Executioner's Calling is when you are facing a heal-heavy enemy composition. Or even like, let's say, top lane Aatrox, or Jungle Master Yi or Red Kayn. It's so good. It only costs 800 gold. And in low elo, I lose so many games because nobody but me builds anti-heal, sorry. Even though the enemy's healing like crazy, and it's obvious that many fights are lost because they are healing too much and we don't have any anti-heal. Like seriously, even Riot stated quite recently that they are going to rework a lot of items and make Grievous Wounds baselines for, I don't know if for more items overall or even for champions overall. But they say since healing is so strong in League right now, it's a necessity to build Executioners or Morellos or Thornmails almost every game. And yeah, low elo players don't realize it. So usually if you see, okay, the enemy team is healing a lot, what I do is go into Warrior and maybe right away into a Executioners. Or at the latest after your Edge of Night. So yeah, you don't have to finish Mortal Reminder. Mortal Reminder is always good if the enemy team has a lot of healing and a lot of armor. But that is more for the ultra late game. Some people build Ravenous or Titanic on Rek'Sai. I don't really think it's necessary. If you are up against a AP heavy team, I really like more of Malmortius. Good name. It's a really expensive item, but it provides a lot of things that are good on Rek'Sai. Just keep in mind that the passive Lifeline is unique. That means you can't really build Sterix and more at the same time. Or at least you will lose the passive effect of one. So it's not efficient to build both of these items. If the enemies have a lot of AP damage that is subsequent, then you want to go for an Adaptive Helm instead. Deadman's Plate is really good on Rek'Sai when facing a AD heavy team, and of course Randuin's when they have a lot of crit damage, speaking like a Caitlyn, Tryndamere, or Yasuo, Yone, and stuff like this. And then for your elixirs, you usually want to go for Elixir of Wrath or the Tenacity one if you feel like you really need it. Alright, let's see some actual gameplay. So, for some reason our team wants to invade, mainly Jace. He doesn't even wait for the rest of our team and we get spotted out and it doesn't really work. I'm not a big fan of invades overall. If they work out, great, but usually in my experience they don't really. So usually what you want to do is start with your ward on level 1 and put it down like right here in the river, here. Or if you wanna start on red side, then you wanna put it down like right here maybe. Usually if you start on this side of the map, it's easy to get into this bush and you have enough range to put your ward down here. You can put your ward down while recalling, which is really good to know. Then I go back and switch to an Oracle Lance. I think I don't do it this game because I just forget it. Oh no, I have my Oracle Lance, great. So we are going back to Zyra, who provides a really awesome leash. On Rek'Sai, a leash is pretty good to have, otherwise you will struggle to stay healthy in some cases. But you can start red or blue depending on the game. You start off with putting a point into your Q, which I mentioned it before, is an auto attack cancel, so you want to auto and Q right away. Then you get your W, use your burrowed Q to do some damage and knock up the small golem. This is really important because now you can knock up the big golem as well and smite it. So you wanna use your knock up and your burrowed Qs and your heal from the Fury consumption in burrowed mode as much as possible. So it's important to know that your burrow puts the target, like the knocked up target, on a 10-second cooldown. So you can't burrow the same target twice within 10 seconds. So that's really important for your clears. And then of course you get your E as your third ability. Riven is really greedy right here. Usually you want to go for a level 3 gank on Rek'Sai. I flashed here, it's really nice, so when you are still burrowed and you feel like, I can't quite reach the target, you can flash to knock him up and secure a kill. So aggressive flashes are kinda really strong on Rek'Sai. So the Blast Cone put me out of my bird mode, which confused me for a second. But once again, knock up the small wolf first and then go for the big ones. Use your AoEs, use your burrow to heal. Right here I thought my Q would be off cooldown, but it wasn't. So I had to unburrow once again. So yeah, burrow, burrowed Q, knock up, auto attack, Q, and always use your E when your Fury is full. In terms of tunnels, I feel like at the start of the game, when you don't have access to a lot of them, you want to use them like here, for example, or through here, or mainly for your early ganks, really. So I'm really late for any kind of scuttle action. So what I do is activate my Oracle Lance to disable the ward, burrow right through, and go for a gank. Unfortunately, she hits the slow on both of us, and she's still full health, so we won't get the kill right here. I'm still limit testing a lot on Rek'Sai, which is why I die quite a lot. Like right here, I don't know if I was able to run away, but yeah, it was rough. It was rough. So Rek'Sai has a really strong early game, but she's not unkillable. Yeah. Alright, so since Rek'Sai has such a strong early game, you really want to secure as many objectives as you can while you're still strong. You could argue in this game that I could have gone for Conqueror because of the Volibear, but honestly their whole team is really squishy, except for the Volibear of course. So I thought Hail of Blades might be better, and Hail of Blades is usually easier to use in low elo. But yeah. On certain champions, of course. So we are almost level 6 on our back, which was a death. We got our blue smite, some boots and a longsword. Pretty good back. Don't forget to knock up the scuttle crab to do more damage while it's knocking up. We're going in. Morgana is really out of place right here. Nico unfortunately lands a really good stun on all of us. And Riven tries to do something. Volibear's on the way as well. Riven dies because she's way too squishy. And she had everything on cooldown. Unfortunately our bot lane dies as well, but we are out. Volibear is just standing there for quite some time. So I just want to see what he's doing. And he does exactly what I figured he would. He's going for Dragon. He feels way too safe, so I just burrow in and one-shot him basically. Yeah. So Volibear doesn't have any tanky items so far. So if he doesn't get his consecutive W's off, he's really weak. Right here, I was way too low to do anything, but I thought I could kill them, which wasn't the case, so I just died, yeah. But I got my warriors. 7 minutes for your warriors is pretty good in my opinion. Shouldn't be later than 8 minutes. And I got a pink ward as well. So Riven overextends once again. She's full health though, and level 7, but yeah, I burrow in, perfect spacing, knock her up and just kill her. Get the shutdown. It's really easy to kill a target once you landed your knock up and get your Hail of Blades brought. Unfortunately, Volibear's here. And yeah, he just killed me, but Chase killed him in return, so that's not good, but hey. Alright, so back on track, using our tunnels. I don't really like this tunnel because the blast cone is right there, so it can get, I don't know, quite strange to not click on the blast cone but on your tunnel. Yeah, our team prepped this fight really well by doing the scuttle crab, and we are killing like all of them. So yeah, that's nice. Didn't even use our ultimate yet, so we even get the Riven as well, who tried to finish us off. So if we take a closer look at this fight. So, right here. We go in, we have vision on Dragon this time, so it's really safe for us to go in. Our whole team is there instead, despite Tryndamere. So Rek'Sai has a lot of damage on neutral objectives, especially with water walking. And you can use your E plus your Q, plus your smite of course, to finish targets off. We knock up the Volibear because he was targeting the Chase. Morgana misses her root, which is really good. So we have a really good team fight here. Then Riven jumps over the wall. We still have ult. I use it right away to be safe for a brief moment and maybe distract her, and then I'll finish her off with my QE combo. Really nice team fight right here. Gives us a lot of kills, a lot of gold. So I'm going for the red buff. And yeah, so that was a good example on how Rek'Sai works in a team fight in the early game. So you want to knock up the biggest threat and try to burst them down right away, and then you can disengage, or if you feel confident you just go in and knock up, knock somebody else up. Your knock up cooldown is really low. Just keep in mind that you can't knock up a target twice within 10 seconds, like I mentioned before. So we're just going to clear our camps real fast. Yeah, in terms of items, I think we have a lot of gold on us right now. So yeah, definitely time to spend it, but I decide to go for another gank attempt. You can burrow a way longer distance than it shows when it's through Terran, so definitely practice that a bit. So right here, it's another limit test, or some would call it an int. I still had my my thingy on the Volibear, so I could ult him. I could have communicated better with the Tryndamere, so he tanks the turret shots. He has ultimate Undying Rage available, so he wouldn't have died. But yeah, you get the Volibear either to the turret shot, and that's that. So once we respawn, once again use your tunnels. At the end of the game, you really have a nice tunnel system on the map. Riven and Chase both play really aggressive this game, and they both die a lot, even more than I do. But this time she plays safe, uses her dashes passively and or defensively and gets out in time. So I decide to use Guddle and go for Herald, since Tryndamere is my duo partner as mentioned before. Did I mention it? I think I mentioned it. So I feel safe doing it even though Chase is on a roam and dies. But yeah, I saw a Riven on the map, so it was fine. So right here, she was waiting in the bush. I saw her with my sonar. I get my combo off, but unfortunately she has ult. And what happens here, I think I could have killed her, but your ult takes a split second until you are burrowed, and then you are untargetable, of course. But I cast my ult and it didn't burrow me in time. So right here you can see my ult is on cooldown, which definitely sucks, but yeah. Just keep in mind that your ult needs a split second to go off, and then you will be safe. So I put down my Herald. Unfortunately, because I died, it's too late. Like, the charge of the Herald is too late to get the turret plates. And yeah, I was trying to check out Dragon. Unfortunately, I get caught out by Volibear and Nico before my bot lane arrives, so should have waited for them. And yeah, this fight doesn't end good for the red team, because Zyra and Lucian are really good in this game. Chase comes as well, get some kills. And yeah, so really well played from our teammates. They're going to start the dragon without me, which is fine since Volibear is still dead. And I don't even bother going to them because I know, hey, they killed so many of them, they won't be there in time. And even if they don't have smite, so it should be fine. So I just clear out my jungle. Get some stuff. Hovering through mid, I could have helped my bot lane, but I felt like they are playing so well and I only saw Nico and Morgana. So Volibear was on my blue buff. I caught him out with my sonar, and Tryndamere reacted by going this way and helping me out, otherwise it wouldn't be good to go in without knowing where Camille was, because we saw her right here and we saw her rotating. So yeah, it was quite clear that she was going to help Volibear. But Tryndamere and we have quite a lot of kills by now. So yeah, we are quite fed, you could say. I went for Mercury's because they have a lot of CC, like a lot of it. And also for the Edge of Night, since they are quite squishy, except for the Volibear. So yeah, with these 3 items like Warriors, Edge of Night and Tier 2 boots, we are really well set up for what happens right here. Knock out the Riven, one-shot her, chases here as well. We are going to not catch up with Camilla, unfortunately, but Volibear tries to do something, he just gets killed. Yeah, all the Volibear nerfs really hit him hard. So yeah, I'm just staying here using my sonar to get some vision of the area in case of anybody rotating towards top. Your reduced vision on Rek'Sai at first is really difficult to deal with, but once you're getting used to it and using your sonar actively, it's really helpful. So just clearing some camps, hovering top lane since Tryndamere was still there. Scuttle, getting all the stuff. Bot lane still doing really well. And at this point, like, we have a almost 8,000 gold advantage, so it's really good for us. Riven gets a shutdown, double kill. Tryndamere follows, and since he has Undying Rage, he tries to do some things. Right there, I could have ulted Morgana instead, which would have been good. I killed her, but die for it. So what could have happened right here? Let's go in slow motion for that. So first, we didn't focus the same enemy, which is bad. Bad communication. I could have ulted Morgana and tried to get out this way, but I really wanted to see the Volibear dead, which was the worst possible target since he has the most armor and health on the enemy team. So yeah, really bad played by me, or badly played by me. And Jace is picking up a lot of kills though, dies for it, because he really likes to kill somebody and die right after it, as you can see here. But yeah, it's fine. Overall, this game is a fiesta, I'd say. But it shows a lot of good things and a lot of bad things for Rek'Sai players, I think. So I chose to show you guys this particular game. So Dragon is up. So right now, I don't have vision. I could have burrowed into this bush. I could have placed a ward to get vision. I didn't see what's going on, so I burrowed in blindly and die for it. So yeah. If you don't have vision, if the enemies are just standing there attacking the dragon, you won't even get your sonar showing you what's going on. So I could have played this way safer, but I didn't, and died for it. So yeah. But you are never alone. On your team are still people to help you out if you are making mistakes. At least if you don't have a team full of inters. So yeah, that's still fine. They did get the dragon, which is unfortunate of course. Sarah takes my camps, which I don't really know why. She did really good so far. She should be happy with her life right now. She did die quite a lot, but it's not too bad since she's just our support and she plays well when needs be. I see somebody walking right here. And it's Volibear. I'm trying to catch him off guard, but he is way too tanky at this point of the game. So I just burrow out and be safe. Yeah, people getting your or stealing your jungle camps really doesn't make that much sense. I mean, they get the same amount of gold as you do, but they only get half the experience since they don't have the jungle item. So yeah, it's really annoying at times, but whatever. So the team is fighting. I'm kinda yeah, Volibear flanked, so I kinda counter flanked, saving the chase. Morgana's really out of position most of the time, so I just burrow and kill her. Riven once again trying to be heroic and killing everybody, which results in her own death. Camille dies as well, and Nico is on the run and dies to my ultimate. So yeah, that was a really good fight for us. Wiped out their whole team. So yeah, good stuff right there. Tryndamere and I are split pushing. We both have waves at our disposal to tank the turrets. So we get 2 turrets here. Maybe it would have been smarter to go for an inhib instead, but we just get back, catch out the Morgana once again, and get inhib from there. So while you're bored, you can just poke enemies with your Q and wait for a knock up, like for a good knock up. Nico dies to Tryndamere, and Volibear can't really do anything on his own at least. Tried to catch up with the Camille, but she got away. Clearing out some wards. And yeah, going top to try to get something out of the situation. 2 of them are still dead, and I have my Tryndamere with me. Chase is split pushing bot, so yeah, in the end what happens is we just decide to get out of there, get some more gold, and reset from there. In terms of item, by now I have my Black Cleaver as well, which is really good into the Volibear and also into the Ninja Tabais. And now I even have a Guardian Angel to be even tankier. My team already started Dragon. We get it. It's not Soul yet, but it's our 3rd Dragon of the game. Puts a lot of pressure onto the enemy team. So at this point we have a lot of health. We have a Guardian Angel and a Spell Shield. A lot of tenacity from the Mercury, so we are quite tanky and still doing a lot of damage. Volibear tried to flank us, but yeah, that didn't work out too well for him. Trying to provide vision with my sonar, but we have a lot of wards, like the double ward right here. So our team decides to go for Baron, which is a good play. Volibear is still down for some seconds at least. And since we are heavily on a lead right now, pressuring the Baron is a good play. Unfortunately, our team doesn't quite get the memo, so Lucian gets picked. Riven overextending once again. So do we, but we have still our Guardian Angel. I flash out because I get scared. Jump right back in because we knew where Nico's going due to our sonar. And we kill her, both survive. We even get the red buff. Oh, Chase gets picked off by Camille and Volibear. But oh well, so Camille chases me. I don't know why. She can't handle my damage at this point, so she gets picked off. I'm trying to help Zyra. I noticed it a little bit late that she was in trouble. So I knock up the Woolly Bear, combo him, and still gets damaged quite a bit. I have a lot of tunnels here, so he can't really catch me off guard. And then yeah, I just use my sonar to know where he is. There's a ward in here as well, he doesn't know that, and he gets killed. Now we can go for Baron, finally. And I think this time we secure it. Sabra provides us with some vision. It takes a while until Tryndamere and Jace are here as well, but nobody contests it, so yeah. We decide to just base here. Tryndamere and Lucian are going for a push, which is good to apply the Baron buff on the minion wave right here. In terms of item, we got a Yoram's Fist. So building into the Derek's Gage last item. I don't think we are going to finish it in this game though. Our team is already going for the push. Riven is behind them for whatever reason, she just dies. And yeah, we are a bit late to the party, but better late than never, right? So we just finished them off, and yeah, that's how to play Rek'Sai. Not really, I hope you guys don't die as much, but I'm still limit testing a lot. So yeah, if you found this guide helpful, check out my other League videos or my variety content. Check out my Twitch if you want to catch me live. And yeah, have a great day. Leave a like, subscribe, comment. I'd appreciate it. And see you soon. Goodbye.